It's a wonderful Saturday. Oh boy. Okay. So I did test the game out and it looked fine. The thing is, since it's one of those old games, um, it's just a little like awkward. Okay. It's just the opening. Oh, yeah. Hang on. Let's see if I can. There we go. Capture That's fine. Do it this way There we go. Okay, so let's start that again. Oh, that is huge. Okay. Alt tab. Just have to do this a couple times to get it to work. There we go. Okay. This is the opening at FNB. Old Town. Oh god. Yeah, it's one of those games. Trigger warning for gore. There's a lot of gore in this. I mean, personally, it doesn't bother me, but like I said, I'm stressed out. I don't know. Let's look at these lovely credits. I always like looking at watching credits. Especially on stream because I feel like, I want to acknowledge the people who worked on the games. Given credit is due. Yes, like all game pro tags, you start the game by waking up. Ah, okay. Next, look before you leap. Help screen can be helpful, or better yet, read the manual. You can pick your friends and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. That is some good advice. Right-clicking on some objects in your inventory shows a close-up of that object. Right-clicking on weapons in inventory activates and deactivates them. Use escape to bring up menu options. You can combine objects into new objects by clicking and dragging them on one another. Sound levels can be adjusted in the options menu. Screen too dark? Try adjusting the gamma in the options menu. Check your photo on the inventory screen. It'll get worse as you take more damage. Look for special items that will restore your health. After finding required items during the day, the night will be the time of the mischievous adventure. Double-click the left mouse button on an exit to go through instantly. Use the right mouse button to... Okay, we already... Oh, yeah, the screen changed resolution, so I'm gonna fix that. Okay. Should I play it like the way it's meant to be looked at with like the non-widescreen ratio? I think games tend to look better in their original ratio, but that's just my opinion. And they're like intended ratio, like aspect ratio. Let me just make sure I have the game volume on. I do. Good, good. I don't know. I feel like it makes for a better streaming experience when they're in the intended aspect ratio, but like, I could be wrong. That's just how I feel. Okay, so this is like a point and click adventure. You know, you're gonna have to do some thinking. No backseat gaming, please. I'm begging you all. I can figure it out myself. An official Dust Ball basketball autographed by JPF. Okay. The mattress is speckled with odd stains. I wonder why. Examine the picture. A picture of a beautiful girl, blonde, about 17 years old. Is that Laura Palmer? Examine the clock. An old-fashioned clock with bells and hammer. A sexy pinup. Oh my god, he is a gooner. Examine the binoculars. A pair of plastic binoculars with the lenses melted into the table. An empty acting medicine container. Bro. A recently watered plastic plant. I don't think this boy is very bright. One of your typical wall clocks. A handful of faded hardbacks litter the lower shelf. A 1/48 scale P-47 Thunderbolt with a broken propeller. Illumination is the key to visibility. A recently watered plastic plant. Paper doll by the Mills Brothers sits on the turntable. A clarinet. Obviously some fat high school girl left it there. Boy. Bro. Saddle shoes with the laces knotted together. A cheap folding chair, such as you find at swap meets, bingo parlors, and other religious gatherings. The dresser drawer is unlocked. You peer through a thin layer of dust at your reflection. A hastily glued P51 Mustang, an exact 1/36 scale. 7 flannel shirts accompanied with matching blue jeans are hanging neatly in the closet. Probably his mom hung them up. An empty trash can so clean you could eat from it. That's disgusting. Well, what do we have in our inventory? We are looking good. Alright, oh, we can also do the controller. Master bedroom door is firmly locked. A stunning depiction of the Earth made of paper mache. Jesus. A pass-through for the kitchen window. A pendulum-driven cuckoo clock with the cuckoo oddly absent. That sounds important. Fine bone china gleams from the mahogany shelves. A box full of newspapers. Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? A box of crayons and a range rider coloring book. An old-fashioned console television. Okay. So we have some decisions. Pick up the newspaper. Use the newspaper. Why don't we... Can we grab that? Yes. Let's take that to go.
What?
Who are you?
Leave me alone, Steve, or I'll tell Mom on you.
Mom?
Mom's in the kitchen, and if you bug me, I'll call her.
Look, do you know me?
Wish I didn't, 'cause then you wouldn't be my brother, and I'd have your room, and all the presents at Christmas. Though I will soon enough anyway, 'cause you're a lousy rat.
You're my brother?
No, duh.
Listen, I don't mean to, bug you, but I can't seem to remember anything. Will you please just tell me who you are?
Mom, Steve is bugging me.
Steve, leave Hank alone right now.
Steve, are you talking to me?
Yeah, only I don't want to be, 'cause I'm trying to watch my cowboy show.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm telling you, I need your help. I've lost my memory.
Have not. Cut it out.
I'm telling you the truth.
You always were a kidder, Steve. Leave me alone. I'm sick.
Have you noticed that your show is in black and white?
What else? Color? On a TV?
Well, I think I've seen a colored television before.
Have not. Quit it or I'm gonna tell.
Hey, look at that. Your mother lets you watch this stuff?
Sure. This is part of history. What made America great. And besides, blood and guts are neato.
Yeah, little kids shouldn't watch violence.
Well, you can't stop me, so let me alone. Or else.
We already talked.
What's wrong with you?
I got a headache and a stomachache.
Then why aren't you in bed?
'Cause I wanna watch my cowboy show.
You look all right to me.
I'm not faking. I couldn't go to school because I'm sick. Daddy's sick in bed too, and Mom believes me anyway, so shut up.
Oh?
Your dad is asleep?
He and Mom went at it last night pretty hard. He stayed in bed. I saw what she did to him. It was pretty bad.
What did she...
Like you don't know. I saw you and her on the couch
What?
last Wednesday night. Guess that's why she's grounded now, huh? Too bad you wouldn't pay me and I had to tell, huh?
What are you talking about? What girl?
What? Is there another one too? Wait till I tell.
Whoa, what?
I don't know what girl you're talking about.
All summer, it's been Stephanie this and Stephanie that. And now you don't remember? You think I'm dumb or something?
No, I just can't remember anything, like I said.
Well, you better remember quick, 'cause the wedding's in 2 weeks.
What?
Leave me alone so I can watch TV.
That's a weird-looking television. Come to think of it, this whole place looks totally retro.
What do you mean, retro? All TVs look alike.
Sure, basically. But this is one old-fashioned clunker.
Old-fashioned? It's brand new.
Yeah, but look at the tube. Where's the remote control?
What's that?
Now that I think about it, I can't remember.
And what was that you said about retro rockets?
No, retro. It means... Oh man, I know what I mean. That everything here is wrong. But I can't picture the difference.
Then shut up and quit bugging me. I'm watching my cowboy show.
Have you noticed that your
What else?
Well,
Have
hey, look at...
Sure. What made it? And
You're right. That is really neat.
I'm glad you're catching on, Steve. You're not too bad. For a lousy rat.
I don't know. I think that's all
Good.
we can talk
Fine
about.
on.
Hey kid, you want a newspaper?
Big whoop, Steve.
Alright, let's... Okay, we're back here. So obviously there's some, like, time travel mechanics going on. Maybe? I think so. It kind of seems like that. Why don't we go in the kitchen? Oh boy. An expertly embroidered old-fashioned wall plaque. The last repository for a few dead bugs. A cabinet that smells of dirty diapers. Ew! A newborn is sleeping soundly. Oops. Fireman Sparky's super foamy fire extinguisher. Cookies are baking in the oven. Knives gleam wickedly in the kitchen's antiseptic glow. Spooky. These cookies are hot out of the oven. Freshly baked cookies are in the trash can. Why are they trash? Why are perfectly good cookies in the trash? That is such a waste. Okay, Mom.
Well, hello there. How about some cookies? There's plenty of rejects in the trash.
Who are you?
That's a fine way to talk to your mother.
You're my mother?
That's right. Though sometimes I get treated like the hired help around here.
I don't remember you.
Of course you don't. Until you need your socks washed.
No, you don't understand. I can't remember where I am or even who I am.
Land's sake, stop your joshing, won't you? Honestly, Steve, I thought you'd grow up a little after graduation. I only hope that new job will plant your feet on the ground.
Oh, boy.
So that's my name. Steve.
Your name will be M.U.D. Mud if you don't stop teasing me, young man.
Listen, this may sound strange, but I've lost my memory. Do you believe me?
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
I'm serious.
Sure, and next you'll be telling me you don't remember Hank and your little sister.
Okay.
When did I graduate?
4 months ago, as if you could forget that.
What college?
College? A high school diploma is all you need to get a job. And besides, you can't marry Stephanie if you're going to waste your time going to college. 18 years old and you're just now getting your first job. It's a disgrace, but better late than never. I guess we can thank Stephanie for that.
Who is this Stephanie?
And just who is Stephanie?
Don't you dare toy with that sweet girl. If you start in on her with all this amnesia poop, she'll think her fiancé is having second thoughts about the wedding.
Wedding?
Look, all this talk about weddings is nuts. I'm not marrying anybody till I figure out what's going on here.
First the heartbreak of psoriasis, and now this. 2 weeks before the wedding and you're backing out. Whatever will the neighbors think?
I can't marry someone I don't even know.
Fine, have it your way, but leave me out of it. If you're going to break Stephanie's heart, you march right next door and do it yourself. And don't expect me to write you a note.
Oh boy.
Fiancé? This is insane!
Oh, you're not having second thoughts about marrying Stephanie? Is that what this silliness is all about? Pre-wedding jitters?
Can something like that produce amnesia?
Stop this foolishness right now and count your blessings. Stephanie is great at cooking and cleaning.
What's cooking and cleaning got to do with anything?
Honestly, boys are so dense. What else is there for a wife but cooking and cleaning? You may not appreciate a hot meal on a clean plate when it's there, but if it wasn't, we'd hear about it soon enough, I'll bet.
You're saying that's all there is to marriage? Cooking and cleaning?
Well, you'll have to ask your father about that, but I'm sure Stephanie will do her duty when the time comes.
This is a real horror game.
My father.
He's in the other room. He decided to sleep in today. Now please, let me get back to my cookies.
I tried to open the door. It was locked. And I heard him moaning. Like he was in pain.
Your father overdid it last night. Just leave him alone until I get some catgut. Have a cookie?
Fine.
The bake sale is on Friday, and yet you're baking the cookies now.
Never put off till tomorrow what you can do today.
But they'll be stale by then.
That's why I'm throwing them away.
And then cooking more?
To replace the ones I throw out.
Why?
Well, I have to. No one's going to pay to eat stale cookies out of the garbage can.
But you expect me to.
Of course not, Steve. I wouldn't charge you. I'm your mother. Help yourself.
What?
What charity is this bake sale supposed to benefit?
It'll help provide a fund for bums and hobos who wander into harvest and have no family ties.
Kind of a specific target group, isn't it?
You have to pay attention to detail when dealing with such people.
I don't know what you mean.
You will. The whole thing has been organized by the lodge.
Tell me more about this bake sale. Why is it so important?
As I told you, many unfortunates who come to harvest end up needing financial help.
Why is that the town's problem?
It's not a problem, so long as those folks are taken care of. It's the will of the lodge.
What lodge?
The Hall of the Order of the Harvest Moon, Steve. It's just the finest place in Harvest, and the most exclusive.
What's so great about it?
Hard to say, since hardly anyone gets inside. But it wouldn't be so exclusive if it wasn't just wonderful. Just like the new Reynolds dishwasher with their patented auto-dry process, TM. I've never used one, but I know I want it. Instead of sulking around the house all day, why not walk over to the lodge and apply for membership?
Why not? I'll go look into it.
That's wonderful, Steve. If you got into the lodge, you'd be the talk of Harvest.
Harvest.
Harvest is a town unlike any you've ever known.
In what way?
I don't have time to go into it now. Why not take a walk around town and pester someone else? I'm busy.
Alright, bye.
Don't forget to put the papers out for Jimmy. You know how he gets.
Okay. Now I know what to do with the paper.
Hey, Steve, I'm Jimmy James. Remember me?
I guess not.
Hey, how come you haven't been putting the paper out for me in the morning?
I've got better things to do, kid.
Well, I don't, you selfish punk. How'd you expect a working Joe to make an honest living? You don't put the paper out, I'm out of a job.
So what? You don't get paid for picking up papers anyway.
The Sentinel building burnt down. What the heck else am I supposed to do? Listen, start putting that paper out and everything will be jake, okay? That's all I want. That and a pair of sneakers. Walking this route every day has worn holes in mine. Say, you got any spare sneakers?
Oh yeah, I do.
Whoa, that's great.
Yes, I do.
Maybe we could trade.
What could you give me?
You know Miss Whaley and Principal Harold down at the school? Well, I found out they're messing around with each other in the broom closet. I can tell you when they meet and trade you some keys that'll let you catch them red-handed. What do you say?
Okay, take this.
Before I give away the keys, let me see those sneakers.
First the keys, then the sneakers.
Nuh-uh. If you're trying to pull a fast one on me, forget it. You don't get the keys till I see the sneakers, and that's that. See you later, alligator.
High voltage power lines bathe your home in a wholesome, old-fashioned electromagnetic field. You feel their humming in your dreams. Nice. There are security bars fastened to the window with Phillips head screws. Shit. Jesus! What? It's full of junk mail, bills, and bake sale flyers. What the hell? A Dayglow Lima space disc stuck on the roof. Steel barbs wrench signals from the naked air. An army surplus air conditioner. What the hell? Ooh! What the fuck? Oh, I think I forgot to save. Oops! Oops. Okay. What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay. Hi, Gaius Papa. I'll give you the newspaper. Here you go.
Hey, Steve, I'm Jimmy James. Remember me?
Want the newspaper, kid?
See you later.
Okay, nice! Oh, that should be fun. Oh, he left. Okay. Missile base? What the hell? He's too busy working to notice you. Tape and broken glass, obviously professional break-in. Neon letters drone relentlessly, eternally frozen at 4:05. A tired air conditioner wheezes in the unseasonal heat. Thank you, Gayus Papa. Yeah, I like old games. They're fun. Yum, creamed asparagus tips. 2 for $4.90 for 49 cents. Ew. Harvest bake sale this Friday in the school gym. Let's go inside.
Can I help you, dear?
Who are you?
This is Phelps General Store, so who would that make me? Maybe you need to go back to Gein Memorial and have Miss Whaley teach you about logic.
I'm fuzzy on a lot of things these days. My memory's gone.
Pshaw, you always were a kidder, Steve.
I'm serious. I need some help.
Well, they say a sharp blow to the head is a good thing for amnesia, in which case I'd recommend Miss Whaley again. Then again, they say a good scare can jog the memory, in which case I'd advise you to visit the Sergeant at Arms over at the lodge. That man gives me the willies. Speaking of willies, how's your father?
Don't know. Haven't seen him.
Care to buy anything today?
Yes, please.
Just point to whatever you want. I'm a little hard of hearing.
Huh.
Hello, Steve. Care to buy anything today?
Sure.
Just point.
A shoddy old TV missing the VHF knob. Maybe. That's interesting, because maybe maybe it was something with the software I was using. I was still like relatively new to streaming. I was like new to streaming when I used that 3D model. The shelf contains a variety of odd items for sale. Huh. Okay. A slightly used wrench. You must pay Mrs. Phelps before you can buy anything. A cow is bleeding a robust coffee on these Harvest Blend coffee can labels. An adult magazine for 25 cents. Cans of soup. Or possibly rat poison. Ew. Black electrical tape. Alright. Probably gonna have to get all those at one point. Yeah, I had a black and white TV at one point. The pre-copies made here. Empty barrels that smell like pickles. Yummy. Dead roaches and bits of arid grit coat the water cooler's bone-dry reservoir. Ew! This empty barrel reeks of rotting meat. An old 16mm projector with Gein Memorial stenciled on it. The new and improved Sucky Lux Super Suck Vacuum Cleaner. It really sucks. Ha! It really sucks. Oh boy. I don't have any money, I believe. What's in here? An empty meat box. Why is there so much meat in this? I don't want to know. Don't answer that question. Okay. barber shop? Let's go get our hair done. Yeah. Oh, okay. I think I understand what is happening here. I think I get it. I think I get it. Whoa. Except for its occasional hairball cough, it's hard to tell if the sheep is alive or not. An unfortunate extraterrestrial who journeyed hundreds of light years to wind up mounted on a barber's wall. The dangling television is sure to cause neck strain at this angle. It takes a true sportsman to hunt down those dangerous cows. Made of solidified mousse and sticky hairspray, this lovely mannequin is a work of art. Ew! A fancy barber's pole secured to the wall with straight slot screws. Jim Bob, who was a high school star pitcher 20 years ago, hangs his aging leather jacket here when he comes in for a trim. A picture of a young Mr. Pastorelli, spaghetti in his mouth and all. Mama Spaghetti. It's a picture of Mr. Pastorelli as a young buck. Colonel Buster Monroe flipping the bird from his B-17 cockpit. Clem Parsons took this rare photograph of an extraterrestrial. Yeah. I wonder why. Mr. Pastorelli doesn't respond, not understanding English.
Howdy, Steve.
Yeah. Howdy back, Mr.
It's swell, Steve. Don't you pull my old leg now. Change your mind about that aluminum siding?
What are you talking about?
I really think you should talk your father into buying some. He can afford it. And I can't stress enough the value of some really fine aluminum siding. Keeps it warm in the summer, cool in the winter, and it keeps out the sheep. Pastorelli ought to look into some, but I can't get him to understand a word I say. Steve, aluminum siding can't get a fair shake no more. Started when those firemen came to harvest, filling people's heads with newfangled notions like color coordination and interior design. You can paint aluminum, you know, if you want to. But even so, I can't seem to move it anymore. Not even to a rube like Pastorelli. Thank God for the plumbing.
Huh.
Pastorelli's a rube from way back. Ask Clem Parsons how he followed up with the alarm system in here. I'm a plumber. I could fix it for him, but he just won't listen.
Plumbing?
Well, I seen the end coming for the aluminum siding game, so I took a mail course and learned how to be a plumber. Now, there's a business that never lets up. You'd be surprised what people flush down the toilet. Nice to see you again, Steve.
Okay.
Hello there, youngster. They say them aliens I was telling you about, well, they came back last night. Cut another crop circle in my south field.
How come I never seen none of them saucers, Clem?
Them aliens is wily, Pete. You don't cross the intergalactic void without learning a trick or two. You know what Pastorelli did? Yesterday, he gets an alarm system to protect his pole. Only he don't know how to rig it, so now it's all awry.
Oh. Huh.
Why, that barber's pole of his is his pride and joy. Brought it all the way over from Italy, wrapped all special-like. It ain't nothing but colored glass with some bulbs stuck up in it, but he thinks it's the be-all, end-all. installed that alarm system just to protect it. Though who in tarnation would want to steal a worthless piece of junk like that? I don't know.
Maybe them aliens, Clem.
Oh, Pete, don't be ignorant. Them aliens don't give a fig for no colored glass. You think if they can build spaceships, they can't make a dadgum barber pole? Crazy hick don't know nothing about science. Pastorelli shelled out for an alarm system, all right, but he's too cheap to hire an electrician to hook her up. Dang idiot cross-wired it to the fire sprinkler, so now when the alarm goes off, it sets the sprinkler spraying. Tarnation! Aliens looking for intelligent life ought to stay away from this shop, sure enough. Well, son, the ways of the alien is a specialized area of woodcraft unknown to all but the wiliest sportsmen. What you gotta remember is, your average alien is smarter than your average human, so you gotta be extra careful building your blind if you want to bag one.
You hunt aliens.
Son, after nailing an alien, you can never go back to quails. What, you think you can get one of those at a swap meet? Line your blind with lead to fool their sensing machines. Lay real quiet and wait. Preferably in the woods around the nuclear base. Oh, they love messing around out there.
Why not wait outside your field, Clem? Wait for 'em to come a-carving.
Oh, they do their crop doodles with zap guns, you darn fool. Don't you know nothing? Besides, ain't no place to put the blind out in the field. Now, you listen to Clem Parsons if you want to tag an unearthly being. They cross the void, wondering what lies beyond, all the time not knowing that what awaits them is buckshot. Well, son,
Oh,
You
I already.
line your...
Why not?
Oh, they... Now, you listen to Clem. They cross...
All right.
The Pastorelli's a funny sort. Foreigner, don't you know? He cuts hair pretty good, but he don't know spit about nothing else. You just ask him to hook up an alarm system if you need convincing. Pastorelli shelled out for an alarm system, all right, but he's too cheap. Anytime.
Okay.
Think about taking...
No, I don't
Nice
think.
to see you again, Steve.
Yeah, you're right. Hang on. The camera's acting a little funky. Yeah, hi. I hope everyone's doing well. Alright, so from what I gather, that poll's gonna be something significant. An old glory flag. Oh boy. Looks like Mr. Pastorelli forgot to put out the paper for Jimmy. A crushed paper cup with smudged lipstick on it. Alright, let's go check in here. I bet it's hers. A zip code map with Harvest dead center. I mean, these mailboxes seem hardly used. 3 clocks 3 times. Bake sale, bake sale. A blind woman is trying to read her mail. Yes.
Yes?
I need some help.
There we go.
Mr.
Postmaster Boyle, what can I do for you today?
I'd like a lodge application.
Sorry, youngster, we're out of applications right now.
Come on, you must have one around here somewhere.
Well, I do have the master, but you can't write on that. And I only make copies once a month, on the button, regular as clockwork.
Well, can I go get one at the lodge instead?
Afraid not, son. You can't get them anywhere but the post office. I'm sorry, you'll just have to come back in a month, same as anyone else. And even then, I can't guarantee you'll get an application. The line is always long, and there are never enough to go around.
It's very important that I get in quickly.
That's what they all say. Postmaster Boyle, I'll just die if I don't get into the lodge. I can't make an exception, young man. It just wouldn't be right.
All right.
Next time you post, don't forget the zip code.
Guess I can't do anything about that now. Missile base. Let's go to the missile base. These aircraft appear to be well maintained. Its base is well stocked with missiles. Oddly enough, this guard booth is the only building on the base. Yeah, I think that's on purpose. An electrified chain link fence surrounds the base. Oh, be careful with him. Yeah, he's probably packing. Why don't we save the game? There we go.
Oh, who goes there?
They tell me my name is Steve.
Oh, right. This is Section 21. Keep your distance, son. I wouldn't want to have to blow your head off.
That makes two of us.
So you're the amnesiac, huh? Just another draft-dodging ploy the way I see it. But at least you're not an alien. You see their ships every now and then. Sometimes Swell bags one in the woods.
Who are you?
Colonel Buster Monroe, commander of the Harvest Nuclear Missile Installation, keeping America safe from those who would dye our flag red, white, and pink.
These are nuclear missiles?
Goddamn right they are. Every one of them ready to rain death on the Ruskies. All I gotta do is hit the button and blammo! The price of vodka goes through the roof. Along with the vodka.
Well, I suppose you have, you know, safeguards against accidents?
Safeguards? Don't be such a weak sister.
Oh.
There are no safeguards. This is the 50s.
Okay.
Then you have sole control of the, missiles.
That's right. Been in charge here since WW2, when I got my lower torso shot off in the war. Those pantywaists in Washington wanted to stick me behind a desk. To hell with that. They owed me. I left my legs in Dusseldorf. They owed me. Of course, they felt that after the trauma of having to crawl from Germany to England trailing my intestines behind me, I was too emotionally unstable to continue in the military. That's why they gave me this nice cushy job and put me in charge of the nuclear missiles.
This was actually released in the 90s.
Why are you asking about the button, son?
I'm just a little nervous about it. I mean, suppose an accident happens.
Don't get your panties in a bunch, mister. The button is perfectly safe. I keep it on my person all the time.
no.
No commie bastard is getting his mitts on this button. No siree, bomb. No one initiates a nuclear holocaust in Harvest except me. Now, doesn't that make you feel better?
No.
Frankly, all these questions are making me a little suspicious of you. Maybe you're one of those pink-blooded Americans. Can you give me any reason why I shouldn't shoot you right now?
No, not really.
I appreciate your honesty, comrade.
Oh my god. Oh! Well, shit. I knew it. Alright, alright.
Oh! All right.
That makes...
So you're
Who are...
Colonel
These are...
Goddamn.
Well, I...
Safe?
Then...
That's right. When I got those panty waist, that's why they... Why you at...
I'm just...
Oh, I keep it on my...
Alright.
Frankly, can you...
You can't shoot me. I'm an American. I have rights.
Right, huh? Your average commie bastard is always only too ready to hide behind the Constitution. Real Americans waive their rights for the common good. Would you?
Sure I would. For this great country of ours.
You talk a good game, mister. But so does your average commie bastard. The Kremlin teaches its agents to talk their way out of a scrape. What do you think about that, son?
The communists can hardly be said to hold a monopoly on intellectual discourse.
You should have watched more TV and read less Dostoevsky if you wanted to pass for an American, comrade.
We're dead. Alright, alright. Let's just not, like... I bet we can get, like, information out of him if we choose the right dialogue.
Oh,
That...
so you...
Who are...
Colonel...
These are...
Goddamn...
Well, I...
Safe?
Then...
That's right. When I got those panty waist, that's why they...
Okay.
Why you at... Okay. I keep it on... No, frankly, all... Can you... Right. You talk a good...
I don't think about much about stuff like that, Colonel.
Glad to hear it, son. You had me going there for a minute, asking all those questions about this base. Came this close to getting blown away. As it is, maybe you ought to get out of here before I change my mind. Go visit those Ponzi firemen. But whatever you do, stay away from that damn lodge. That's the most suspicious place in Harvest, if you ask me.
Fireman?
I wanted to get back into the thick of the action and out of this desk job with those firemen are a damn peculiar bunch of ladies. I thought they'd object to my lack of a lower body, but they wouldn't let me join the fire department because they said I couldn't draw naked men. Can't draw naked men? Who the hell wants to? I could draw one if I was a sick commie pervert. Look, I did this last night. What do you think?
It is beautiful. That's a fine drawing, Colonel.
Thank you, son. You're a good soldier.
Okay, I think we're probably done. Alarming green sludge oozes from the drain. The masonry looks as though it may be from the Dark Ages. It looks as ancient as the building itself. Alright. Red eyes gleam with eerie malevolence from the darkness. Hi.
Only initiates may enter the Hall of the Order of the Harvest Moon.
Did you say something?
I did not speak, but my mind touched yours.
Telepathy? But how?
Only those who seek enlightenment warrant my attention. Do you hunger for true knowledge?
Yes, I'd like to join the lodge.
There are always obstacles to the path. You must first fill out an application to be considered for initiation into the mysteries.
Paperwork? Why should I fill out a stupid form?
Members of the Order are privy to many hidden truths.
Such as?
They know what the trees whisper to the wind to make it howl. They know what the worm knows as it squirms in a rotting leg. They know what you've forgotten.
Oh. You're talking about my amnesia, aren't you?
When you find the path, truth will be revealed to you. When you possess the truth, you will know what you knew. And if anything remains forgotten, then it was never worth the knowing.
Give me 1 second. The sun is like this. That's better. Alright. Oh yeah, since we started over, why don't we... Oh, what's that?
What? Leave me alone. Mom's in.
Look, I just...
Wish I.
Yeah, we
You're
did.
mine.
No.
Listen,
Mom.
Steve.
Yeah. Have.
I'm telling...
You always.
Have you noticed?
What?
Well,
Have.
hey, look at...
Sure. What made it? And besides. Well, you.
Ugh.
What's wrong with you?
I gotta.
Then why?
'Cause
You look alright.
I'm not faking. I couldn't go to school because I'm sick. Daddy's sick in bed too. And Mom believes me anyway. So sure.
Your dad is a...
He and Mom.
What did you...
Like you don't know.
What are you talking...
What?
I don't know what...
All some.
No.
Well,
What?
leave me.
That's a weird look.
What do you mean?
Sure.
Old.
Yeah, but look at the tube. Where's the remote control?
I think it might have been Monkey
What's
Island.
that?
I don't know. I have to do
And
some
what was that
research
you-
stuff.
No,
Then
Alright.
good.
Bye.
Well, hello.
Who are you?
That's a.
You're my...
That's
I don't remember.
of
No, you...
We're
land.
just going through the dialogue
So-
since we died.
You're-
and
Listen.
started a new
Well,
game.
I'm...
Sure.
When did...
4 months ago.
What call it?
College.
And just who is...
Don't you
Look, all this talk...
first?
I can't...
Fine.
Fiance?
Oh, you
Can some...
stop.
What's cooking?
Honestly, boys.
You're saying that's...
Yeah.
Well,
I thought...
he's in.
The...
Nep.
But...
That's why.
And then...
To rep.
Why?
Well, I have...
But
Oh,
what chair?
Yeah, we're
It'll-
just going through the
You have-
dialogue again.
I don't-
since we
you
tried.
will.
Tell me,
Uh,
why is that?
It's not a...
What law?
The
What's...
hard to say.
Why not? I'll go look for
That's
it.
one. Harvest is a...
In what...
I don't have time to go.
Right, bye.
Don't forget to put the papers out for Jimmy.
Yeah, I know how he gets. Oh wait, what's that? What's that? A Dago Lima space disc stuck on the roof. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so why don't we Potsdam resident? Okay. Maybe that's my fiance's. The overhead window is shaped like a wagon wheel. They're living dangerously. It's too high to look into. The garage needs a new paint job. The glass is so clear the reflection makes it difficult to see. Alright, why don't we... I feel like we're going to go see the fiance, and I don't want to, like... I feel like I could easily fuck up, so I'm gonna save. A funerary urn is in the cabin's sole occupant. A giant mutant asparagus, inexplicably robust given the fact that it's encased in red concrete. Perhaps the healthful electromagnetic fields of the harvest? Ugh. The man of the house squeezing his meat. The ashtray is shaped like a particular human organ, which shall remain nameless. Almost made of leather, polyester. The empty shelves are a testament to the Potsdam household rigorous intellectual standards. Oh, brutal. The upholstery is stained after years of profuse sweating. Ew. Alright.
There he is, my future son-in-law. And how's he doing today? What brings him to the Potsdam household, huh?
That's right.
Huh?
I've lost my memory.
What a card.
Would I kid about something like that? Why won't you believe me?
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve. Your mother just telephoned us about your latest shenanigans. Isn't that right, Mrs. Potsdam?
Sure did, Mr. Potsdam. You little rascal.
Imagination's a swell thing to have, in small amounts. Man needs to keep his feet on the ground, especially if he's getting married. Tell me, is your father feeling better? Is he going back to the slaughterhouse anytime soon?
What?
This is sick. I'm supposed to marry this Stephanie and I don't even know who she is.
Now look, Steve, a joke is all well and good, but don't go scaring me like that.
I'm not joking.
Now look, a commitment is a commitment. You're going to marry my daughter. We'll be one happy family, and your dad's going to give me all the meat I want, right?
What?
Right?
Why is Stephanie grounded?
Well, don't look at me. Mrs. Potsdam wants Stephanie to study hard for her finals. If it was up to me, you could go straight upstairs, but you know, the little woman, you'll have to ask her permission to see Stephanie. Sorry, Steve. The last thing I want to do is upset you and your father before the wedding. Not with the meat at stake. You will remind your dad about the meat. Won't you?
Marriage.
Tell me about this wedding.
Well, it looks like we're going to have to hold the wedding down at the funeral parlor, since I'm not a member of the lodge. Mr. Moynihan has given his okay, and your father is going to cater the affair with plenty of meat.
Why are you so anxious to get into the lodge?
There's wonders inside. I've heard there's more meat in there than they know what to do with. Now that you're of age, Steve, you might go down to the post office and fill out a lodge application. They're always looking for new blood.
Meat?
Meat is the foundation of any decent society. Everyone needs at least 3 servings of red meat a day. And anyone who says otherwise is a commie. And once you're married to Stephanie, I'll be part of the family too. And your father will give me all the meat I want. Kind of makes up for not getting into the lodge.
I haven't seen my father. He's locked in a room.
He's not going to die, is he?
Like I said, I don't know. That woman, Mom, tends to him herself.
Well, next time you see him, be sure to tell him that I said hello. And tell him that I'm praying for his speedy recovery. And also, would you remind him about the meat? Especially about the meat.
Yeah, fine. If I see him.
You should be more concerned. If he dies, then who's going to take over the slaughterhouse? Who's going to tend to the meat? I guess as his son, you'd take over, right? I can't imagine a better job than working in a slaughterhouse.
I don't want to work in a filthy slaughterhouse.
Bite your tongue with that serpent's tooth. Your dad's slaughterhouse is the most successful business in Harvest. You'll love it there. Oh, sure. Cutting animals open may not be much fun. Reaching into their bodies and yanking out the bloody guts, intestines dangling and
Ew.
slapping against you, the smell of death and shit in your nostrils all the time. Well, those are all definite cons. But once you're done, the guts have been washed into the
Jesus.
gutters. What are you left with? Meat. Rows and rows of scrumptious red.
Ew. I'm a vegetarian.
Meat is the
We already asked that.
I haven't seen...
He's not... Well,
Yeah,
I don't know if that was intentional or like just a glitch. Alright. You're a psychopath. The entire kitchen has a minty fresh looking scent. A plastic plant with freshly watered soil along with little styrofoam balls. The entire kitchen. Okay. Bushes are preventing it from opening. Okay. The icebox is locked.
Hello, Steve. Have you flossed today?
You look just like my mom, except for the hair.
Honestly, you men can insult a woman without even knowing you've done it. What a horrible thing to say.
you're both standing around baking cookies. Same kind of dress, same pearls. So bizarre.
There's nothing bizarre about baking cookies. The Harvest Charity Bake Sale is Friday, you know, and by gosh, Mrs. Marvin Potston Jr. can be counted on to do her share. Just because I'm doing housework doesn't mean I have to be a drudge. It's a wife's duty to look good for her husband at all times. What's wrong with wearing pearls, for heaven's sake?
Nothing, but you look like June Cleaver. Some kind of sitcom mom.
Sitcom?
Geez, you know, a situation comedy. The weird part is, I can't remember how I know that.
I'm much
Have
too
a good
busy with
rest of your
housework to
day,
watch
Cosmo.
TV. Maybe Mr. Potsdam would know about sitcoms. Stephanie doesn't watch TV, though. She's grounded. You mustn't be too hard on Mr. Potsdam, Steve. He's a disappointed man. No matter how many lodge admission forms he fills out, they keep turning him down. He has a new application in, though, so keep your fingers crossed. If he joins the lodge, you and Stephanie can have your wedding in the Chapel of Love rather than over at Moynihan's place. Mr. Moynihan runs the Wayward Hotel and the Shady Oaks Funeral Parlor. It's rumored he has connections with the lodge, but the order keeps that kind of thing secret. So Mr. Potsdam has tried to get him to put in a good word for his lodge application, but so far...
What can you tell me about the lodge?
Just that they're exclusive and secretive. If you're curious, you ought to pick up a lodge application at the post office and take it over to the sergeant-at-arms. Isn't that a thought? Forget Mr. Potsdam. If you became a member of the order, we could hold the wedding inside the lodge. My, wouldn't that be lovely?
Tell me about this wedding.
Well, it's set for 3 weeks. We're holding it over at Shady Oaks, Mr. Moynihan's funeral parlor.
Say what?
Now, I know it's not a very romantic place, but there's nowhere else to hold it, thanks to Mr. Potsdam.
What do you do?
You mustn't be too hard on... Give my regards to your parents.
Sorry. You'll have to ask Mrs. Potsdam for permission to see Stephanie. She's in the kitchen.
Okay.
Hello, dear. Come to see Stephanie, have you?
Yes. Yes, please.
She's upstairs. Go right on up. Just remember, she's grounded until the wedding.
All right, bye.
Give my regards to your parents.
It's just a light. You know, I bet Stephanie is also, like... I bet she's normal. Your makeup looks just fine. I'm not wearing any. This plastic plant has enough water to last a good while. It's, you know, one of those things. These books are obviously fake. The closet door won't budge. This plastic plant needs a good watering. Several books about red meat and its importance to living well. This device is slowly releasing noxious-smelling chemicals into the hallway. This plaque has had its metal plate removed. It's made of high-tech topperware, TM. As plastic plants go, this one seems cool. Oh. Okay. This plastic plant is apparently dead. The picture on the wall is hanging a bit crooked. Huh? Whoa! Wait, why is there a hole in the wall? Yeah, I'm good. The medicine cabinet reeks of various toiletries. Got a headache? This aspirin should do a trick. Should do the trick. A jar of extra strength Aura Lube. Great for getting in and out of tight spots. I'll take it. I'll take it. At 1 hour cough medicine. Just take everything. Warning, yeast disinfectant. Not to be used for baking cookies. New zippy vitamins will pick you right up. Tampons, better ask Stephanie about these. Be sure to roll up the tube from the bottom. Dental floss, 300 yards of it. A scattering of band-aids. Okay, we took everything. It's covered in what appears to be toothpaste, pubic hair, and snot. That is disgusting. Now here's one overly used paper towel. Someone's been using this plastic plant as a toilet. She's pretty. Feels like corpse sandpaper. It'd be painful to wipe with this stuff. This window affords a spectacular view of aluminum siding. Wads of used tissues fill this trash can. Some of them stuck to the sides. I wonder why they're sticky. The towels are stiff as boards. Mr. Potsdam has been taking this plastic plant joke too far. A thick layer of hair coats virtually every inch of ceramic, and the rubber ducky has seen better days. Ew. This game is gross. Sus. Sus. I'm suspicious. Alright, let's go see our girlfriend. She has nice taste. Just like the one back home, except pink. Okay. Hi.
Who are you? What are you doing in my room?
Haven't you heard? We're getting married.
So, you're the one. Steve, isn't it?
You mean you don't know me?
I mean, I don't know anyone. I don't remember anything. How many times do I have to say it?
Just one, Stephanie, because I can't remember a damn thing either.
Really? Oh God, I thought it was just me.
You're not alone. Can you tell me what's going on here?
Those people downstairs have locked me in my room. They say I'm grounded until the wedding.
Those people?
They claim to be my parents. I can't dispute it because I can't remember for sure one way or the other, but it doesn't feel right.
I know what you mean. I don't belong here.
Do you have any idea where you do belong?
No, but I'm fairly sure I don't belong in Harvest.
Yeah. I can't remember anything, but I feel in my heart that the woman downstairs is not my mother. She's like this thing, like a parody, a bad joke with mother as the punchline. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, believe me, I understand.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who sees it that way. I thought I was going crazy.
Join the club. But we can't both be crazy, Stephanie.
Either way, something really weird is going on here. I've got to escape, and so do you. Because in a way, whether you know it or not, I think we're both grounded. It's been hell. They treat me well, but they won't let me leave this room. Not even to go out in the yard. Not until the wedding.
They won't tell you why?
Each one blames the other for grounding me. They make up different excuses. Different things I did, none of which I remember. So I sit up here, watch the world outside my window, and listen to the noises in the house.
Have you heard or seen anything that might help us figure this thing out?
Every morning, a weird boy comes to the house and picks up the paper. He doesn't deliver the paper. He picks up scrap paper that Miss Potsdam sets out on the porch for him. Some mornings she forgets, and the boy gets furious. It gives me the creeps.
Anything else you can tell me?
I hear these weird scraping sounds in the bathroom sometimes. Like something is sliding along the wall. Claws, maybe. And Mr. Potsdam. I don't like the way my dear daddy looks at me. Both of them are always watching me. But especially him.
Ugh.
You don't think they're dangerous, do you?
I think this whole place is dangerous. I think we've got to escape. Before it's too late.
Escape?
Harvest is a prison, Steve. Don't forget that.
That's too harsh. These people are just eccentric.
You haven't been locked in your room for a week. Everything in Harvest seems to revolve around this damned lodge, this Order of the Harvest Moon. They're responsible for this insane bake sale that's coming, and for the Harvest Blood Drive, too.
Oh.
When people talk about the lodge, it's always in this hushed, reverent tone. Mom keeps telling me that women can't join, but she keeps pressuring me to get you to join.
She's not the only one who wants me to sign on with the lodge.
That's probably the worst thing you could do.
You think the lodge is some kind of trap?
I think all of Harvest is a trap.
If that's true, maybe joining the lodge is the way out.
Maybe.
Look, why not explore the town a little? I can't get out of here, but if I could, that's what I'd do. Maybe you can figure out what's happening here without going anywhere near the lodge.
You're really afraid of the lodge, aren't you?
I look at that building, all lit up at night, and I get scared.
I mean, look at the damn thing. Seem like a harmless bunch of Masons to you?
Maybe my amnesia isn't total after all. You're familiar to me. Like we've met before. In another life.
Maybe we really do live here. Maybe we were together, and the same thing happened to both of us. An accident. Something.
Neither of us has bumps on our heads, if that's what you're getting at.
Have you been able to remember anything else? I mean, anything at all?
Well, I have had these recurring dreams. Just fragments, really. Strange, abstract images. Liquid, chrome.
Probably just a dream.
Well, have you thought about how to escape Harvest? The wedding is only 3 weeks away. Not much time to get to know each other, is it?
Nope. Don't worry about the wedding. It isn't going to happen. It isn't going to happen.
No?
If it comes down to it, we just won't take the vows.
I don't think anything in Harvest is that simple. Too many people are determined that we get hitched.
Why?
Potsdam wants the meat your father promised him. Your parents want to force you to settle down. Mrs. Potsdam wants to have the wedding in the lodge. Me? I just want to escape.
I don't blame you.
Escape?
Harvest is a
Oh, you're... Yeah, I think you're right.
Of course I'm right.
All right.
Come back and visit me soon, okay?
Oh yeah, I will. She's cute. Let's go take a walk around. Abandoned house. Oh. Yeah, it's like attic window is the perfect nesting grounds for wasps. Oh boy. The old card is the perfect nesting grounds for wasps. Uh-oh. The rusty gutter is the perfect nesting grounds for wasps. This place could sure use a gardener. Bees! Not the bees! I have a bad feeling, but let's do it. Oh, someone's here. The ice box is sealed shut with wasp nests. From the sound of it, these cabinets are infested with wasps. A rather colorful picture of a wasp. Oh boy. Oh boy. A wasp nest. This town is full of freaks. I'm not... What the hell?
It's not often that I get visitors. I am Tetsuo Crumb. The ignorant of harvest call me the Wasp Woman. A pejorative, no doubt, born of fear and a poverty of imagination.
I don't understand.
The politics of honey, the Judeo-Christian rites of sacrifice and conventional taboos against unbridled pleasure are all responsible for the prejudice against wasps.
All right.
The politics of honey are intertwined with the age-old struggle of the aesthetic versus the commercial. Because I choose to raise wasps instead of bees, I'm frowned upon by the community. Why? Well, raising bees is acceptable because they produce honey. But sometimes it's not what is produced, so much as what is performed.
I don't see any particular use for wasps.
Why must everything have a use? Is money always the determining factor? More slender, more aerodynamic than the bee, the wasp is a joy to behold.
Okay.
Beautiful and juicy. Isn't that enough to compensate for the little drawbacks? Regard the wasp. Wasps produce nothing for others, but only for themselves. Wasps build nests and more wasps, nothing more. They spread into eaves and attics, not to make honey for supermarkets, but to buzz and rustle on their own paper, perpetuating their own agenda, growing stealthily, surely, the most relentless of insects.
That must be a hint. Okay, drawbacks?
Well, as you can see, the little darlings do love to sting. Another source of prejudice for the masses, and another reason to love them. Bees are like animals. They sting only for a reason, for sacrifice. They have no conception of individual sensation, of pleasure.
Yeah, there is a DVR function. But I was told to disable it, just in case anything were to happen on stream. That way people can't go like rewind and clip it or screenshot it, just in case like an accident were to happen. Because this was like said by another VTuber. Apparently they were doing a hand cam stream and the camera like dropped and showed their face. So they said like if something like that were to happen, then obviously like you can cut it out of the VOD, but like because you can unarchive a stream like literally right after the stream ends and like unlist it and or make it private, so like then you can clip out that moment. I've definitely had to do it before, but with the DVR function people can rewind the stream and, you know, get that moment. That was very bad, so I was told for my best interest to disable it.
When a bee stings, it rips itself apart and dies for its audacity. This appeals to those raised worshipping a god that demands sacrifice and atonement. But the wasp is promiscuous. They are not as sympathetic to the masses because they don't die when they sting. They live to sting another day, and they take pleasure from it.
Well, that's why the VODs exist, you know? I feel like yeah, like I don't know, I just feel like the benefits outweigh the risks, you know? It does impact the viewership, but like, you know, it's just to protect me. It's to protect me at the end of the day. Just in case something were to happen. Because there was a stream that I accidentally revealed some personal information on my screen that could potentially put me in danger. So with the DVR, I would have to look into that. Yeah. But like that's why yeah, cause it like, yeah, basically information like revealed my location. So, and I realized that like right as it happened. And so like I didn't want like people to like be able to go back and like see that. So that's why I don't enable it.
Yes, a great deal of pleasure. The wasp is a sensual being, not a laborer, hedonistic instead of industrial. Some think them quick to anger. In truth, they are easily swayed to ecstasy. They penetrate your flesh, and the muscular contractions in their thorax as they pump venom could be likened to the muscular contractions of ejaculation.
Oh my
Each
goodness.
painful welt, an act of love.
Girl. Is it hip to fuck bees? Yeah, I mean, I know that most people are harmless, but I still don't want to take that chance. You know, I have had some really bad experiences with stalking in real life and like harassment. to the point where I'm just like, I guess I'm just like super vigilant about that stuff. And this was like long before I even started streaming, so it's just something that I've always been very careful about. Yeah. I just don't want to take that chance, you know? Mr. Johnson erected an impenetrable fortress to protect his Tucker during the night. During the day, Mr. Johnson keeps watch over his precious 48 Tucker. Yeah, those are cool cars. I do like them. The manhole cover is locked in place. A nasty stench drips up from the sewers below. Ew. Oh, why don't we see what you're about?
Hello, Steve. How's the husband-to-be?
Other than having no memory, I guess I'm all right.
All right? You should be ecstatic, considering what you're getting into, if you haven't gotten into it already. Speaking of which, I heard Stephanie was grounded. Her daddy's worried about getting his meat. Though if I were him, I'd be more concerned about Stephanie getting some meat.
Right.
Oh,
and
my.
You are...
You always were a kidder, Steve. I'm Mr. Johnson, remember? Glad you stopped by. Just got finished waxing the Tucker. I could use a little relaxation. But since Edna's not here, I might as well talk to you. Edna Fitzpatrick is one of the snootiest women in town. I declare there isn't a woman in Harvest that turned me away. If I was interested, that is. Just because she owns DNAs, she's got all these highfalutin ideas about independence, and her with a little girl to raise. That child needs a father. And Edna, well, she needs a good, hard penis.
What? Girl! What the fuck?
I'll admit DNA's Donna does good business. But money isn't everything to a woman. Can money keep you warm at night? Can you wrap your thighs around it? Or rake bloody gashes in its back with your painted hollowed fingernails? Edna! Edna! So, how's Stephanie? Speaking of Stephanie, I still haven't gotten an invitation to the wedding yet.
I don't have anything to do with that.
That's okay. Personally, I'd prefer a pass to the honeymoon. You could use the back seat of my Tucker for the maiden voyage. It's plenty big, believe you me. I'd drive you around, and I wouldn't look in the back seat, I guarantee it. Though if you'd like to come up front and take the wheel a while, I wouldn't say nay.
Oh my god.
Heck of an automobile, isn't she? Damn shame I have to sit out here and watch over her all the time. But if I didn't, those stupid kids might scratch her up playing ball.
If that's a real Tucker, I can understand your concern.
Hell yes, it's real. I wouldn't be so protective of her if she was just a reproduction. I'm mighty particular about my Tucker. I had the garage remodeled like a fortress, so I could lock her up at night and get some sleep.
I'm sure she's safe enough inside.
A few months back, someone broke into my house, trying to get into the garage. I had to gripe like hell before the sheriff agreed to start the evening patrols and instigate the curfew. Bye now.
Bye-o! You're a freak. Bye-bye. Oh my god. Get me out of here. Here lies Boxcar Willie. The air reeks of fresh soil and manure. Oh boy. Not even glue could save him. Rest in peace, Elmer. Freddie Mercedes, too much love will kill you. Jesus. Robba Williams, 722 to 1947. May your fantasies be forever gory. R.I.P. the unnamed hobo. "2 years in harvest was too long. Fear not in death, Monte Jakes." I feel like these are going to be semi-important. Scotty Barkin, we shall rest easily without you. Oh my god. The scripture on this headstone has faded beyond legibility. November 27th, 1948. Another unknown visitor. A visitor? This tombstone is unmarked. The headstone of this grave site reads Jonathan A. Rhinecliffe. Yet another resting place amongst the graves. That might be important later. Bellini's sycamore is dead rotten, unstable for climbing or stringing nooses. Why would you think that? The Potsdam family crypt. Oh, so they're important people. The marble bowl doors have been sealed shut. Okay. Let's get out of here. It's spooky. I don't like thunder. Shady Oaks Mortuary. That's where I'm getting married, isn't it? A professionally kept landscape. A large translucent window. The hideous symbol stands out like a swastika or a flattened spider. Sounds like there's a party going on in there. Empty coat tree. These votive candles have been lit by many well-wishers for the dead, or one well-wisher with a lot of matches. Examine the ledger. Those dear to us who have passed recently. John A. Rhinecliffe. Okay, so he passed recently. That grave we saw. The schedule for this week's funerary events. A pair of comfortable-looking sofas. Okay. Let's go here first. Oh! Oops, he spilled. Ew! A disembodied organ which was never meant to pump formaldehyde. There are organic things floating in formaldehyde in these jars. The sort of things that make you want to look away before you can really see what they are, but your eyes won't oblige. The fan's whirring blades barely stir the stench-laden air. The needle lies on 33 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's very cold in here. Not quite freezing, but still very cold. A pair of bloody hand prints are smeared across the glass. A very nasty looking sink. Yeah. On the counter sits a new tube of astro glue. Can I take it?
You can't have that, Stephen. I need it for my work. And may I say you're a rude young man for attempting to steal it.
I was only gonna borrow it.
Indeed. And have you anything I could hold as security?
Security? Like what? Money?
I'm afraid that's not good enough. I need that glue for my work. You must present me with something significant if you'd have me part with it.
Okay. Well, I will think of something. The messy remains of some poor soul. Yeah, I don't think he's very good at his job. I'm gonna save so I won't end up on that table, you know?
Stephen?
Who are you?
I am Daniel Moynihan, mortician and proprietor of the Wayward Hotel.
Most people ask me why I don't remember their names.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve. Besides, as one who deals with the dead, I try not to involve myself in the affairs of the living. Your loss of memory is of no concern to me, true or false. Ironic, considering my recent involvement in a charity event.
What are you talking about?
My complaints were central to the scheduling of the upcoming Harvest Bake Sale. I'm gratified the Order of the Harvest Moon got involved. The proceeds will certainly help cover my losses.
Huh.
This bake sale is a joint effort of the Harvest PTA and the Order of the Harvest Moon. The proceeds will be used to set up a fund for transients. In other words, bums and societal rejects without families who wander into Harvest uninvited.
Then the Order is setting up shelters for the homeless?
Not shelters. Graves. You see a great number of these hobos die while passing through. Don't ask me why, it's what those people do. Use your common sense, Stephen, memory or no. If they were involved in setting up homeless shelters, then why would I be involved? And why would I be sustaining losses? As always, the Order of the Harvest Moon has taken the lead in addressing our societal ills. Through their sponsorship of the blood drive and the bake sale, the Lodge ensures that all our needs are met.
Needs? Such as?
Pardon me, there are corpses to prepare. And my losses have been substantial of late. If you're sincerely interested in the Order, however, you should stop by the Lodge and speak with the Sergeant-at-Arms.
Why should I be interested, Mr. Moynihan?
Of all the spots in Harvest, the Lodge is the most prominent, literally and figuratively. It is the ambition of everyone here to join, and join you must to attain wisdom.
What kind of wisdom?
If I knew, I'd be a member. I have the feeling you have what it takes to join the Order, Stephen. We all believe that. Whether or not you live up to your potential is up to you. This bake sale is a joint effort of the Harvest PTA and the Order of the Harvest Moon. The proceeds will be used to set up a fund for transients. In other words, bums and societal rejects without...
we already asked that.
Not sure.
Losses?
It seems that, like some elephant's graveyard, people of low station come to Harvest to die. They simply drop dead, penniless, and they all need burials. God knows, by putting these people up at the Wayward Hotel, I do more than my fair share. So why must I pay for the coffins and burial materials as well? My losses to the dead are substantial. Hopefully the bake sale will offset some of them.
The Wayward Hotel.
As owner of the only hotel in town, I do my best to accommodate any hobo who straggles into town, vacancies permitting.
That's very charitable
Thank
of you.
As yet another pilgrim who aspires to join the Order of the Harvest Moon, I do what I can to support their agenda.
And what agenda is that?
None of your concern, young man. Unless you decide to join them. I'd say it's been a pleasure, but I find the company of the living so wearisome.
Alright. You're a freak. And you... Oh boy. The light from this candelabra gleams unwholesomely pink, like the eyes of a horde of rats balancing on thin wires. Rows and rows of empty wooden pews, caked with the dust of indifference. I guess this is where we're getting married? A small lectern for a priest. A brass candelabra holds several strange-smelling candles. An empty vessel of the dead. The imprint of a head, buttocks, and sliding heels are scraped into the thick dust of the pew. All right. Some fun shenanigans were going on there. A saint kneels before a shepherd, jubilantly terrified. A hauntingly beautiful stained glass window in which a man holds a scythe in one hand and some ethereal power in the other. I feel like I remember that. That's pretty interesting. Alright, so why don't we go to the Wayward Hotel? A pretty cheap-looking sign for such an uptown establishment. It's keeping watch over the town, so don't bother it. Okay, let's go investigate. Oh, you teleported fast. The PTA bake sale is on Friday. Reflections of the make the lobby seem more spacious than it actually is. The door is locked. A ledger of names, the last being Jonathan A. Rhinecliffe, checked in Monday. Oh. The somewhat ponderous console radio evokes an earlier era.
Young man, we really have nothing to say to each other. I have the feeling your image shall soon adorn my slab, and I'd rather not know the face of the meat I'm slicing.
Bye.
I'd say it's been a pleasure, but I find the company of the living so wearisome.
Okay. Fire station. A fire truck with a lovely shade of pink. Jesus. With all the rose pretty flowers, the firemen must have a ton of time on their hands. The pickets of the fence gleam with a fresh coat of white paint, like clean-cut soldiers standing at attention, defending truth, justice, and the American way. America! Fuck yeah! Why don't we talk to you?
Please excuse the mess. They've done wonders with the upstairs bedroom, but this garage defies color coordination.
Oh my god, that is a stereotype if I've ever seen one. has foaming from his barking chops. Decorative oriental fans from the Ming Dynasty. A picture of a phallic-like structure standing all in a row. An accident just waiting to happen. An impressionistic landscape. The lights are too high up to reach. I don't think he's heterosexual, man. A photorealistic mural of a peaceful countryside. A picture of a storybook castle. A well-endowed nude man standing in the moonlight. Do I even have the meat? I don't think I do. Here, boy, you want some newspaper?
Oh, man.
Guess not.
Don't bother me, I'm sketching. Oh, look what you made me do!
Hello, Steve. Welcome to the House of Flame, as we like to call it. Oh, cut it out, Spots, honestly. Once he gets barking, a good piece of meat is the only way to shut him up. There you go, Spot.
Okay.
So, Steve, bet you don't remember me. Heard about that short in the old wiring. I'm Fire Marshal Sparky, head of your fire department.
Where'd you hear about my memory loss?
Don't be silly. Everyone thinks that amnesia kick is a scream. Well, you always were a kidder, Steve. Besides, it's my job to keep abreast of developments in the community, to better serve you, the public. I'm sure you'll be thrilled when you learn of the many civic improvements we have planned for your fire department.
Such as...
Well, don't tell any of the others, but I've secured a bolt of the most divine mauve material. I've hidden it because, well, if any of these Marys got a hold of it, it'd be gone in a jiffy. So I'd rather keep it hush-hush. I'm going to make new drapes for the firehouse, and if I have any left, cross your fingers, I'm going to make everyone matching mauve pillow cozies.
Those are civic improvements.
Don't be such a party pooper, Steve. We're talking about our future. Besides, we haven't had a fire in Harvest since the newspaper building burned down. Though I'll admit that the Wasp Woman's place is one big accident waiting to happen. Isn't that right, Spots?
Oh my god. Art?
Art enriches the community, Steve. No less than a pulsing fire hose or a fireman beating down a blazing door. So what if we're drawing a nude man? So what if all we ever draw is a nude man, or the same nude man over and over in all sorts of provocative positions? Context, not content. Process, not subject. Don't be so gauche, Steve. It's beneath you.
Okay.
A dreadful affair. You wouldn't think that a brick and steel building with a sprinkler system could go up that quickly.
You think it was arson?
Oh, please. Dwayne was glad enough to see the thing go up, and so was McKnight. If you could get into that safe in his wall... Forget it. Look, Steve, as far as I know, the fire was an accident. Let's just leave it at that. Now don't you go moving.
Alright.
Some people think all we do is sit around, fetching examples of manhood for our own amusement. Nothing could be further from the truth. Why, just the other day we cited Tetsu a crumb for fire code violations. All the dried out paper wasp nests clustered around our wooden house. Why, it's a chemlog just waiting for the right faggot. Believe me, none of us wants to see another fiasco like the Sentinel fire. Bye-bye. I don't converse on the job, Steve.
All right. Oh my god. This game hasn't aged well, I will say that, but that was really funny. Let's go to the police station. Stars and stripes forever. Ba 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 da da. The cop ignores you. Too busy writing a bug report. I feel like since it's like an obvious parody that it's okay. The pot hisses at you from its perch. A map of harvest. An empty file cabinet labeled solved cases. It's full. It's labeled unsolved arson, and it's full. Oh wow, that's a lot of unsolved arson cases. The door is locked.
That's the evidence room, where we store items lifted from crime scenes. It's kept locked at all times. There's things in there that could make people jump through hoops, if I wanted.
Huh. It's labeled unsolved murders, and it's full. That's a little sus. The door is locked. Okay, so...
Hello, Steve. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sheriff Dwayne, and this here's Loomis.
Pleasure, I reckon.
Then, we haven't met before?
Of course we have. But I heard about your alleged amnesia, and figured I'd play along. I sure hope this is just a prank, and not the start of some insanity plea. Keep your nose clean, or you'll wind up in jail, and that's no place to hold a wedding.
Yeah.
Why do you want to break your poor mama's heart with all this amnesia bunk?
I'm telling you the truth. Why won't anyone believe me?
Well, you've always been a kidder, Steve.
Yeah, so everybody keeps telling me.
Boy, you need to stop all this funning and get serious. You've got a wedding coming up soon. Heck, you should be thinking about your career and about joining the lodge.
I think they're gonna end up as human sacrifices.
Amnesia or no, you can't have forgotten you're about to marry the prettiest little thing in Harvest. I think you and Stephanie are perfect for each other. I just hope her father's disappointment doesn't spoil everything.
Disappointment?
Mr. Potsdam wants to hold the wedding in the lodge, but he'll never get in. Like all the rest, he's always hanging around the post office the first day of the month, waiting for Boyle to bring out that month's lodge applications.
That's true.
There's always a long line, never enough applications to go around, and even if you do get an application, chances are you're right out of luck. Fewer called to the order and even less accepted. And Potsdam, well, they've turned him down so many times, unless he does something radical, he'll never get in.
That's possible. That they're...
Crime-wise, nothing much has happened in Harvest since the newspaper fire. Oh, sure. Every week or so, we get the odd transient dropping dead. But other than that, it gets pretty slow around here. Sure, you remember. The Sentinel building burned down about 6 months ago.
That's what I'm telling you, Sheriff. I don't remember anything. Why won't you believe I have amnesia?
Well, you've always been a kidder, Steve. Anyway, the fireman said the fire was caused by arson. I never caught the perp, though.
But we found the gas can that was used. Yes, sirree, Bob. It's in the evidence room.
Loomis, that's classified. Darn it.
How many times you gonna have to tell me to keep my mouth shut, I wonder? Sorry, boss.
You've got the gas can in the evidence room? Did you dust it for prints?
You've been watching too much TV, Steve. Heck, who can make out all those curvy lines anyhow? No, it's sitting in there gathering dust, clean as the day we found it, just in case I ever need a spare gas can. That case is closed, Steve. Loomis here is my deputy. Without him, I'd have a hard time keeping the peace, or at least taking a lunch break. Mainly Loomis answers the phone and babysits the office while I'm out, though sometimes he likes to go in the back and stain the jail mattress. Isn't that right, Loomis?
Oh, now, Sheriff, what you gotta go and say that for?
Loomis has more than his share of problems. I wouldn't invite him to the wedding. Or if you do, make sure he doesn't catch the garter. That could be embarrassing.
Oh, I wouldn't do nothing, Dwayne. But I sure would like a little garter that's been around Stephanie's thigh. Oh, well, that'd be right special.
Oh my God.
Amnesia or no, you can't have forgotten you're about to marry the prettiest...
Oh, Harris.
Disappoint.
Mr. Pot, there's always...
Okay.
Stop on by any...
Anything I can help you with?
That coffee sure smells good.
Help yourself. Speaking of which, you're real lucky to be marrying Stephanie. She don't look like a good woman. I just hope she don't turn out like Mrs. Loomis, or mercy forbid Mrs. Phelps. Good women can be awful hard on a man's needs, don't you know? Oh gosh darn, she's purty. Kinda like a gal I seen on some of them French postcards they used to make. Used to be, I'd take them things, go back into jail if nobody was there and kind of look 'em over one-handed, fold some towels. That was before Mrs. Loomis.
Oh my.
Oh gosh, I wish I had some of them girly pictures, but Mrs. Loomis won't let me keep 'em in the house. I still remember the time she caught me holding some of them pictures up with one hand. She took the broom to me. I howled like a hound dog, the broom going up and down, flashing straw and blood and straw, and I drooped. I was crying so bad, and it was so hard I had to crawl under the porch naked with all the black winter spiders, and I got bit something fierce, little fangs digging into my bare behind all over. I ask you, is that any way to treat a man? And Mrs. Phelps and the sheriff don't make it no easier neither.
Oh boy.
Mrs. Phelps down at the general store don't help things none. She's got them special picture books, the one with the ladies. But she won't sell me none on account of she knows my wife, Mrs. Loomis. Dadgum if that don't burn my britches. If and I even ask about 'em, she tells Mrs. Loomis and I get the broom. Enough to break a man's heart. Her burning my French postcards and me unable to replace them. A man's got needs, don't you know?
What's a man's needs?
Why, you sure ought to appreciate what a man's got to do sometimes in a parked car, or a waist-high knothole in a tree, or jail cell at noon. Matter of fact, Mrs. Phelps got no reason not to sell you some of them French postcard girly picture books. If you can get any, you see clear to part with them. Bring 'em round when the sheriff's at lunch, and I'd be obliged.
French postcards?
Of course, I don't necessarily mean French postcards. That's just what we called them in my day. Any kind of girly picture book, the kind men like, would be just dandy. I'd be right grateful, kiddo, if you were to bring me one.
Alright, I think I
Anytime,
know
kiddo.
what I need to do. I have an idea. Oh, he went to lunch. But I need a quarter first, you know? Newspaper building. What's left of the newspaper building after an extreme fire? Yeah. A shovel sticking out of the building's ashes. Can I take that? Oh boy. Buried in the ash debris, you spot a few hidden remnants. Can I take them? What's left of the newspaper? Bake. It's a flyer for the Harvest Bake Sale. Oh? The postal worker's button. It looks like it was ripped from the cloth. Okay. At least the pipe plumbing held up. Three fire hydrants in the building still burnt down. Ooh. Even from the sound, you can hear the sonorous buzz of the neon. A 1955 Frag 100 with a real leather seat. Edna. This Edna sounds like a smoke show. I should probably look at her. The cake cover. A smoke alarm. The grease fryer is off. An unlocked drawer. That might be important. This town is a bit screwy. Just a bit of kleptomania. No big deal. Now we save.
Hi, what's your name?
Karen,
What are you doing?
playing. My mom is working, so I gotta stay out of her hair. Wanna play?
Not now, maybe later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Alright.
Hello there, Steve. Here for lunch?
No, just here looking around, though I'm not entirely sure where here is.
Oh, I forgot. You're playing your little amnesia prank. Well, boy, this is DNA's Diner. Isn't that right, Edna?
Don't listen to Sheriff Dwayne. This is Edna's Diner. But ever since the E burned out on the sign, they've been giving me a hard time.
Now, don't be like that, Edna. It's a great place to eat, which is good, since it's the only place to eat in Harvest.
Alright, bye.
Stop on by any time, Steve.
Oh, Steve, what are you doing sneaking up on me like that? God, for a second I thought you were Mr. Johnson. What would you like to order?
You know me?
Sure. And my name's Edna Fitzpatrick. I'm not the one with amnesia.
Then you believe me.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
I guess I've changed. I'm not kidding.
Now, Steve, faking amnesia won't help anything. If you don't want to marry Stephanie, then don't. But don't play sick, for heaven's sake. I'd expect that from Karen, not an 18-year-old. You've met Karen, my 8-year-old. Other than the diner, she's all I have.
Aww.
There isn't a nicer girl in Harvest than Stephanie, Steve. You should be grateful that she's promised you her hand.
I don't remember that happening, Edna.
Honestly, you men are so childish. I don't know what it is about marriage that turns even the bravest man into a coward. I was going to marry Karen's father when he just up and ran out on me one night. I heard that he joined the lodge, but if he did, I never saw him come out again. Even Sheriff Dwayne wasn't able to find out what happened to him. Mr. Johnson has a liking for me. I'd call it a crush, but that's too innocent a word. He's a bitter man with too much time on his hands. He's never gotten over being rejected by the lodge, and there's something unwholesome in the way he looks at me. I'm always glad when the sheriff comes in every day at noon.
Lodge?
The lodge is the repository of all wisdom. You should join the Order of the Harvest Moon, Steve, and soon.
Why? For God's sake, what is it about this place?
The wheat ripens and waits not for the scythe. The farmer who waits too long, it were better that he use the scythe to rip his own stomach out than to stay his scythe when the wheat ripens. The harvest moon wanes and then comes winter. An empty belly, the body sans belly, gurgling within or bloody on the ground. What does it benefit a man if he gains his soul and loses the world? You hunger. Feed yourself before it's too late. Oh.
Edna?
Steve. What happened? Were we talking about Boyle? Or was it Karen?
You seemed strange there for a minute.
I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of stress. Running this diner all alone. Forgive me.
What the hell?
Stop by anytime, Steve.
That is strange. Okay. Yeah, she did. She did. Meat plant? Oh god. A red brick building with a horrible stench coming from within. Oh god. Oh! Bloody tire tracks. I think I understand what she was... I don't want to. I don't want to type that in. I think I understand, like, what she means by planting and, like, harvesting while it's ripe. I think I get what she means. Whatever is in these barrels smells extremely bad. Lots of cats hanging around. This used to be a kitty cat. The carcasses of several small animals. You. Freshly cut meat. You. I don't like you.
Steve, how's your father? Is he better?
About the same, I guess.
He's been away from work for weeks, and when I call your house, your mother won't let me talk to him.
I haven't seen him either.
This is a fine kettle of fish, I must say. Though I am glad to see you taking an interest in the business in your dad's absence.
Who are you?
Aw, Steve, I didn't want to believe that amnesia hokum. Now you're saying you don't remember your pal Pat O'Reilly? You may come to realize that this business is not for everybody. Just ask your poor, ill dad. It takes dedication and a strong stomach.
Ugh.
A lot of times, when I'm finished scrubbing up and digging the bits of intestine out from my fingernails, I must confess I don't have much appetite for red meat. But red meat is one of the principal food groups, and you've got to have it. So when you can do this all day and help yourself to a juicy red steak afterwards, then by golly, you can call yourself a butcher. Of course, amnesia would certainly help that, wouldn't it? What exactly is wrong with your dad?
I don't know.
I wouldn't worry about it too much, Steve. You should be thinking about running the family business one day. That, getting into the lodge.
Look, I'm not kidding about the amnesia. Why won't anyone believe me?
Well, you always were such a kidder, Steve.
Funny how that's beginning to sound like a stock answer. Like it was coached.
You sure are acting like a kidder, son. With your dad ill, you're gonna need to start behaving like an adult, especially if you're gonna take over the family business. You may come to realize that this business is not for everybody. Just ask your poor, ill, and a strong...
Ew.
I must... But red, then by... Of course,
Okay.
Come to think of it, I don't see any cattle around here. Where do you keep the animals?
Does it matter? The end product is all the customer cares about, Steve. And we only carry the finest meat, only the juiciest cuts. Once you take over the business, you'll realize the importance of maintaining quality while cutting costs. We know what we're doing here, Steve. If we didn't, would the lodge use us to cater their affairs?
I'm sure it's good. Could I have some meat to take home?
Your father's very particular about the profit, Steve. No freebies for anyone. But seeing how you're his son, if you'll bring written permission from your father, I'll give you the meat. There are certain tricks of the trade, Steve. Once your dad gets better and you start working in here cutting up the meat, you'll be privy to them. There's always cheaper, better ways to do things, if you're creative.
Bye.
Don't be such a stranger, Steve. And my best to your dad.
Bye, y'all. Dine Memorial School. This drinking fountain doesn't work. A distasteful amalgam of chewed gum, mangled love notes, broken ballpoint pens, oozing blue ink, and blotted Kleenex. A bulletin board riddled with staples. It looks like the bake sale will be held here. The door is locked. These lockers all riddled with inexplicable stains and dents. A glass-protected fire alarm.
Steve, good of you to drop by, big guy. Haven't seen you since graduation. A lot of changes, I hear.
You could say that.
Good, good. That's a nice part of my job, turning fine young men and women out into the world, and then watching them prosper. Of course, I was able to reach more people at the old Sentinel, God bless her. But then again, I never got to see the results of my work up close before.
Who are you?
You know very well I'm Mr. Harold, principal of Gain Memorial. Steve, I've heard about this amnesia nonsense. I had hoped you'd be in the lodge by now, fine young fellow like yourself. But now, I think maybe you need a little more quality time. Boy, I sure miss the old newspaper. The sheriff never did investigate that fire properly. Call it a newspaper man's instinct, though I can't imagine why Sheriff Dwayne would cover up anything. I mean, the only ones who stood to profit from the newspaper going out of business was the owner of the TV station, and Mr. McKnight had an airtight alibi. Still, if not for the fire, I never would have wound up as principal of Gein Memorial.
Gein Memorial? Sounds like a cemetery or a hospital, not a school.
He's right.
This institution was named for a great man, whose first name escapes me. He epitomized the great potential within us all, big guy. I hear there's an honorary plaque commemorating him within the lodge. Big guy, born some quality time, the greatest gift I can bestow upon you as your former principal is a word of advice. Join the Order of the Harvest Moon at any cost. Within the lodge lies your future, and without, dust. Surely mine is the most important position in Harvest. The ability to mold young minds. That's power. You might think Sheriff Dwayne's the most important man here, big guy, but he only deals with my failures. When I do my job right, the sheriff never sees a thing.
Why do you keep calling me big guy?
A sign of respect, lad. As principal, my station is higher than yours now, but you never know what the future holds, so you should always hedge your bets and pay tribute to your inferiors. You never know who will come to power, or who, even now, wields it behind the scenes. For all I know, you might already be a member of the Order, with access to the lodge. If that were the case, you'd be my superior, and I'd be all that much better off having shown you respect and spent some quality time with you.
Boy. Oh my God. What do you mean by quality?
What do you mean, quality time?
Some, like Miss Whaley, favor stern discipline, corporal punishment, as a means of socialization. Myself, I temper discipline with love. Quality time can be such a warm, sharing experience. After just a few sessions, you'd stop this amnesia nonsense and become a productive member of society and a fit candidate for the lodge. You turned out pretty good, except for that amnesia nonsense.
It's not nonsense.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve. Maybe you need a little straightening out. Oh, the things I could do to you. You'd be a much finer young man with just a little quality time.
Oh my God. Bye.
Drop in again soon. Adult education is a wonderful thing, as is adult quality time.
Bye, y'all. A rough sketch of the lodge. Even the paper cutouts look stunned and zombified. A projector carefully engineered to sound good when played underwater. Oh. The children look stunned and zombified.
My goodness, class, this is Stephen. He used to be a student here at Gein Memorial. Say hello, class. They're reticent. The educator's greatest problem today is the apathy of the students.
What's wrong with their heads?
I can tell you in one word, Stephen. Discipline. Thank goodness you weren't a sulky bear. You were always a smiley bear.
Then, you remember me?
Not as such. So many pupils, Stephen. They come and they go. But I can always spot those who were nice boys. You can tell from the forehead. The lobes, right, class? I'm glad you stopped by, Stephen. Would you care to say a few words to the class
that
about
sounds a bit
civic responsibility?
Not really. I was just passing through.
Oh, but you must, Stephen. A positive role model might be just the thing to inspire these little monsters. Stephen, have you any questions for me? Or shall I continue with class?
Yes, I do.
Ask away then.
Can you tell me anything about Harvest?
Harvest was founded by the Order of the Harvest Moon about 100 years ago.
For what purpose?
Why, I'm sure you'd have to ask them. You'll find the members of the Order at the lodge.
This lodge. What do you know about it?
The building itself, like Harvest, was constructed with a specific purpose in mind. That noble intent is known only to those within the Order. You're at about the right age to join them, Stephen, and you will do so if you care about your future.
Oh boy.
We don't practice corporal punishment here. I've never believed in that old adage, spare the rod and spoil the child. A rod is too thin, but a baseball bat? That bridges the generation gap quite nicely.
Oh my god.
Oh dear. Colonel Monroe is conducting another air raid drill. Everyone into the hallway, quick!
If an A-bomb hits, what good is it gonna do to duck and cover?
Oh my god. Girl! Oh, ooh. That's
My
dark.
stars, that was exciting.
Bye.
Stop by anytime, Stephen.
Oh my god, this game. This game does not pull any punches. What is going on there? A silver tucker with a yellow interior. Too busy drinking and smoking. They ignore you. Odd, no one is operating the cameras. A fairly primitive form of mind control. A corny western backdrop, complete with a cardboard teepee. Oh, this is that cowboy show. Odd, no one is operating the cameras. Either the show isn't compelling or no one wanted to be taken out by friendly fire.
Stay tuned, buckaroos. There's more to come on Range Riders Cowboy Roundup. So don't go away. And what's your name, hombre?
Steve.
Steve's a swell name. My dog's name is Steve. Would you like my autograph, Steve?
Yeah, I guess.
Here you go, then. Violence? What about it?
Children watch your show. Don't you think this violence is bad for them?
Violence is as American as apple pie and low SAT scores. Where would we be right now if the cowboys hadn't gone out west and butchered innocent people to steal their land? Answer me that, Mr. Know-It-All.
But what about studies that have shown that children become more violent when watching violence?
Buckaroo, I rip the guts out of godless heathen Injuns. Most kids don't see godless heathen Injuns on a regular basis, and if they do, they better either get their eyes checked or do like old Range Rider and shoot the bejesus out of them, lest they want to go untreated for psychotic hallucinations, or wind up with their scalps hanging from a buckskin belt.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, shit! Ow! Shit on a stickaroo! The parents that are griping about violence on TV are the same parents that go outside in the morning to fetch their papers, secure in the knowledge that they won't get an arrow through the noodle because the violence they hate so much done cleared the engines out of the neighborhood.
Yeah, civilization has benefited from violence. But should violence be treated as entertainment?
Check my rating, son. Violence is entertainment. I just put it on the air. If some kid watches, that says something about the kid, not me. Now, excuse me, we're going back on the air.
I think I know what to do with the autograph. It is unhinged. Alright, so I think...
Big whoop, Steve.
Okay.
Well, that didn't work.
Okay. Oh, wait, I have an idea. Don't I need a pen? I have an idea.
Well, that didn't work.
No? Said something about there being, like, pens in there, didn't it? Oh, wait. I have an post office button. I want to try it, see if this works. Because she said her eyes don't work that well at the general store, right?
That's nice, dear.
You don't want it? Okay, let me think. The barbershop? Okay, so we have a straight slot screwdriver. Oops.
This is your first arrest, Steve. You just remember, we've got a 3 strikes, you're out rule here in Harvest. But you keep your nose clean. You hear?
Alright. Okay. Oh, wait. That was pretty funny. So Jimmy's gonna still be here. He's gonna be outside, right? Oh, I guess not. Oh, it's still the first day. Well, I think I'm gonna call it a day. It is kind of getting late, so yeah. And I do have things I need to do, so that was fun. Alright. Have a good rest of your day, everyone, and I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye. Oh, excuse me.